Okay, a little inspector theater.
Can I come in?
Come on in, Mr. Fire. The door's open for you.
You always make me feel so warm and welcome.
You say, no. This door's supposed to have a spring on it. Okay, so it's a self-closing spring. It's supposed to always close. Everything you care about is on this side of the door. That's where your birth certificates, your passports, that's where your income taxes are, your wills. That's where your art and your jewelry and your collectibles, everything you care about is on this side of the door. You might care about your Honda lawnmower, but the things you care less about are on this side of the door. It should always be self-closing. I get it, it's a nuisance because it's always going to close when you're carrying the groceries in. You're going to disconnect the spring like I did mine. But no, it's supposed to be self-closing. But that's not why we're here. We're here for the garage car entry overhead door, which is a metal panel door. This is the button for it. It's over 5 feet from the ground. That's a good thing, so little hands can't get up to it. But you're supposed to have a warning notice posted on it. Right there, you're supposed to have a warning notice. On your door, you're supposed to have a warning notice posted on it too. Look at there. Looks like a little kid getting squashed. You got instructions just in case you want to squash a kid. You got it right there. On both corners, you got spring tension. Okay, you're supposed to have that. That's a good thing. Alright? But you see this? This is your manual door lock. If you have a door opener, you're supposed to decommission your manual door lock. Okay?
Okay.
That way, if you come home, if you close it, you lock it, you go on vacation, you come home, you're tired, you push the button, and then it gets all wanked up. It'll ruin your door. So that's supposed to be decommissioned. You can just take one of those bolts out, and then if you quit using the door opener, then you'd want to reinstall it. But no, you don't just have it there in case you want to use it. You don't want to act like I do. Okay, so coming along here, we got our emergency pull handle. That's a good thing. Our courtesy lights are working. That's a good thing. This door, however, is operated by an extension cord. You're not supposed to use an extension cord for a permanent application. You're not... Oh, wait a minute. I take that back. Let me walk that back a little bit. There's your switch. Right there. All right. That's your receptacle outlet. And they've got an extension cord hooked up to it. The only thing that's supposed to be hooked up to this receptacle is the door opener. Because if there's an emergency, you got to know which one to unplug. You shouldn't be unplugging any of them because it should be GFCI protected, and it's not. It's not GFCI protected, and they're not using it. That should be a sole purpose receptacle. You're not supposed to share it with the refrigerator, the extension cord, or anything like that. So that's your metal door. So what do we learn? We learn that our optic sensors are higher than 6 inches. So a kid could get underneath there, or a cat. You could squish a cat or something like that. It's not supposed to be that high. They're supposed to be 6 inches or closer to the floor. Wow, look at this. They stapled it so it's out of the way. But they didn't use insulated staples. They're supposed to use insulated staples on these wires. So now what did we learn? We learned that our optic sensors are too high. We learned that our wires were improperly stapled. We learned that our manual door lock was not disassembled. We learned that we do not have a GFCI protected receptacle outlet, one that happens to be sharing power with half of the garage. We learned that we do not have a warning notice next to this button. Now, I do not do block tests. I have instructions baked inside of the inspection report on how you can do a block test, or the seller can do a block test to demonstrate it to you. But I made a business decision to do no harm. Okay, so I only test these optic sensors visually. I use my big old flat zombie hoof, and I come over here and I push the button, and then I scoot my little old legs across the floor, and I take that big old foot, and that tells us that the safety reverse works. Alright? I just didn't do a block test. The inspection agreement says I didn't do a block test. The inspection agreement posted on my website says I didn't do a block test. And I'm telling you now. But I did test it. I did break the beam.